Now, of course, as you've read by probably the title of this video and saw by the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about the other unit that is coming out in version 3.7 part 2 alongside Kazuha, and that's going to be Alhaitham. Now, as I've talked about before, 3.7 is actually a pretty big update in the sense of like these really good characters. Part 1, we got Himeko and Yoimiya. Part 2, we're getting Kazuha, and now, of course, Alhaitham. Now, Alhaitham's really good. He is a Dendro DPS, as we know, one-handed sword, and he does a lot of really good things because I like playing as him as part of like my Electro Dendro teams. It's really fun to be able to use him and be able to use him with like the likes of Raiden Shogun, Yoimiya, or not Yoimiya, sorry, Himeko, Fischl, and all that stuff. But today, we're going to be talking about Alhaitham as a whole, and of course, as being a part of this new guide series that we're doing whenever these new characters, or just any of these characters come up, this is going to showcase Alhaitham as a whole. So, what is going on, my dudes? Tasha here, back again with another Genshin Impact video, and of course, if you guys like the content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of when the next Genshin Impact video comes out, and of course, leave a comment. We'd love to hear your guys' opinions. But, without any further delay, let's go ahead and talk about Alhaitham. Now, as you can see, we have Alhaitham popped up here, and this is a big shout out to Honey Hunter World. Always use them to look at, you know, kind of just a baseline of what these characters are going to be. So yeah, we have Alhaitham here, a Dendro one-handed sword user. And of course, we're going to talk about pre-farming him or farming him in general. So, character essential materials, you're going to need the following. The Nagatas Emerald Silvers, you're going to need 1 of. For these fragments here, you're going to need 9. For the chunks, you're going to need 9. And of course, for the gemstones, you're going to need 6. Now remember that 3 silvers make a fragment, 3 fragments make a chunk, and 3 chunks make a gemstone. So it is a lot of farming. So bosses that you could farm up to get your Dendro, we've already talked about before, but Jade Bloom Terror Shroom, or Dendro Chicken, as I like to call him, Dendro Hypostasis, and I believe also a Pep, the overworld boss in Sumeru. You can actually farm him for those mats as well. Now, as you can see here, we also have the Pseudo Stymens, or Stamens, however you want to call it. You get these from the Weenut boss. Yes, I call him Weenut. I know that it's probably pronounced something different, but giant snake thingy in desert area of Sumeru, you're gonna need 46 of these in total to level up Alhaitham here from level 1 to level 90. Now, you're also going to need these sand grease poopas. I always laugh at poopa. I don't know why. It's such a funny word to me. But yeah, you're gonna need these sand grease poopas. You're gonna need in total 168 of these from level 1 to level 90. Now, let's go ahead and scroll down here, and we're gonna get into these things right here. As you can see, you're probably not gonna see these, but we're gonna be looking at the, as you can see highlighted, faded red satins. You're gonna need a total of 18 of these. And then of course you go over here and you're gonna need the trimmed red silks. You're gonna need 30 of these. And then if you look right here, these, the rich red brocades, you're gonna need 36 of those. Now you get these from the Eremite bosses, or not bosses, but just enemies in general. So like the ground floor level type of, you know, Eremites to the big bad boss ones, you get these brocades from those. How do you explain it? Opponents? Enemies? Whatever. Enemies. We'll go with enemies. Now, as we scroll down, the next thing we're going to talk about is talents. Now, remember, this thing right here, the skill ascension thing, as you can see, is based upon level 1 to level 10. Here, let me move my camera so you can kind of see it. If I can't do that. Well, there you go. See? From level 1 to level 10. And it goes as follows. If you're gonna triple crown Alhaitham, which is not a bad idea because he actually benefits from all of his stuff, you're going to need a grand total of 9 of these teachings of ingenuity. You're going to need 63 of these guides to ingenuity, and you might not be able to see exactly what it's called right here, but you're going to need a grand total of 114 of these philosophies of ingenuity. Now, That's gonna be a hard farm to do, only because I always find the guides and all that to be a little bit tough to farm because they're restricted on certain days. Now this is restricted, and I'll go over here so you can actually fully see what I'm talking about. These in general, the Ingenuity books or tablets, however you want to call them, are only farmable on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. So be prepared. This next coming, well actually, when this video releases, it's gonna be, what, Saturday? So tomorrow, you'll be able to farm up these Ingenuity books, or tablets, however you want to call them. For the satins and brocades, you're gonna need a grand total of 18 more of these faded red satins. You're gonna need 66 more of the trimmed red silks, and you're going to need 93 more of these rich red brocades. Now, the next thing you're gonna worry about farming are these, and this is the Mirror of Mushin. You probably can't see the description right here, but you get them from fighting Scaramouche. Yes, the Scaramouche boss fight, you get these, and you're gonna need a grand total of 18 of these Mirrors of Mushin. So if you haven't been farming him lately, which I haven't done in the past 2 weeks, you're gonna need to farm him. And then of course you see at the end here, we have these crowns. You're gonna need 3 of them. Overall, a grand total between leveling up Alhaitham and triple crowning him, you're gonna need a grand total of 7.1 million Mora, which again is a lot unless you're like me, who literally has an overstock of Mora. To be quite honest, I have way too much Mora, guys. All right, so as you can see here, we do have Alhaitham ready to go, and the first team I'm going to be showcasing today is going to be a kind of Archon spread team that I saw from Sip Sip Guide. I really want to try this. I've never tried this team, but apparently it does really, really well. Getting Nahida and Raiden Shogun the ability to help with spread. But let's go ahead and talk about Alhaitham first. We're at a 57 out of 182. You want to basically build him with high elemental mastery, high attack percentage, high crit rate, high crit damage. So honestly, I think it goes crit damage, crit rate, elemental mastery, then attack percentage. Now, as you can see, my elemental mastery may not be too high, but you know, it's still pretty high enough for him. I could go a little higher, I think. Now, let's talk about the weapons really quick, because this is kind of important with Alhaitham, especially if you're trying to get a high elemental mastery. Unlike me, which, you know, I didn't do that. You could honestly switch the Iron Sting off for it, but the 5-star weapons that you really, really want to go for is Light of the Folly or Sanction and Primordial Jade Cutter. So honestly, I could probably switch. Oh wait, yeah, I forgot. I don't have Primordial Jade Cutter. So I'm gonna go with the Black Sword, which the Black Sword is considered one of his best 4-star weapons in the game. You get it from the Battle Pass, obviously, but you could also use the Iron Sting, and the reason why you would go for something like the Iron Sting is because of that elemental mastery, and it could work. You know, it could really, really work. The only reason why I don't switch off is because I want a little bit of a higher crit rate, because if I take this off, my crit rate goes all the way down to 30%. So really base it on what your crit rate, crit damage ratio is, and if you need the extra elemental mastery. With me being almost at 500 and being able to use Nahida to help transfer that elemental mastery works really, really well. Artifacts. Now, like I said before, when you're working with your artifacts, your main thing is to worry about your crit rate and crit damage, your elemental mastery, and then your attack percentage, followed by ER, if anything, because you're not going to be using HP, defense, or healing bonus. Now, the main set that I went with here, as you can see, is a Gilded Dreams. And Gilded Dreams works because you're getting another 80 points in elemental mastery, and then while within 8 seconds of triggering an elemental reaction, this character equipping this will obtain buffs based on elemental type of the other party members. Attack is increased by 14% for each party member whose elemental type is the same as the equipped character, and then elemental mastery is increased by 50 for every party member with a different elemental type. So in this case, because the fact that the Sip Sip team that I'm using, the Archon spread, I have 3 types: Dendro, Electro, and Geo, which means that I'm getting 150 more elemental mastery, which works out in my favor. Now, for Alhaitham, you could use other sets. You could use the Deepwood Memories for that Dendro damage bonus, which does work. It's not a terrible set. Heck, you could even use gladiators, honestly, as a 4-piece and be perfectly fine, or the Flower of Paradise Lost. But honestly, Gilded Dreams is your best bet because it combines that elemental mastery if you want different party members, or if you want to go with the same team, you could go with the boosted attack. So I think that's your best bet. Now this is a 0 constellation and I'm running 777 across the board. I am not triple crowning Alhaitham. I usually just triple crown the characters that I love to triple crown anyway. But look at him, he's got freaking abs of steel, bro. It's freaking nuts. So let's go ahead and let's showcase this first team. So the main goal of this spread team is to have Raiden Shogun hitting with her skill and then going into Nahida or even obviously Alhaitham. Zhongli's just there for shield and because he's an Archon. So let's go ahead and let's fight Masanori real quick. So first things first, I'm gonna get my little pillar out, get the shield going, get that, boom, and then just pile on the damage from here. Since I have a shield, I don't have to worry too much. Look at this. Already done with first phase. And done with second phase. It's just that easy with that spread team. It's freaking bonkers how good this team is. But of course, this is an all 5-star team, so I can't expect everybody to have every single one of these 5 stars. Of course they're gonna do great. So I'm going to put this team together. And you can honestly switch even Raiden Shogun out for official for this to work, but this is a team I wanted to get together as well. The main reason for this team is as follows. You're getting all the different points, so I'm getting 200 extra elemental mastery, which works because you're basing off elemental reactions. Have Xingqiu in there to be able to help out with using his burst, same with Bennett, and then obviously with Raiden Shogun, just her E is more than enough. So let's go ahead and showcase that. First things first, we need to get everybody's skills up so that we can fully showcase that. So let's get this.
No, my sword. Let's light it up. Shine down.
Here we go. Give it just a little bit longer. We're gonna keep building it up. Okay, okay. Why is he healing? That's crazy.
Time to act.
You guys notice that, right? He continuously heals. How dare he? All right, here we go. So this is what we're gonna do. Activate.
There's no escape. Going in. Witness the power of go.
Flicker.
Now, as you can see, look at all the different elemental reactions going while I'm also in my healing circle. And then activate. There we go. I just gotta hope that my Alhaitham doesn't die. All right, so yeah, as you can see with that, there's a reason why Alhaitham is so good with so many different elements. One, Dendro. Dendro is such a powerful element in this game that it's almost a given that he's gonna be doing so much damage. Combining him with any Hydro or Electro units already makes him that much better. And even Bergeron can do a lot of good things, but ultimately your goal is to combine him with an Electro or Hydro unit, in my personal opinion, because Bergeron is the kind of weakest of the 3. And that's not to say anything bad, because Burn or Bergeron can work, but in all honesty, I'd rather use Electro or Hydro, and I think anybody would too. Overall, Alhaitham is a very good DPS. It's not to say that he's the best at all. Like, he's definitely not the best in my opinion, but the fact that you could have that Dendro element and be able to combine all these like wonderful teams, like this is just 2 of many teams I looked over and many teams that I built. I've even built an all Dendro team and he works just fine on that one too. But Alhaitham is really good. Now, would I say he's the best DPS out there? Obviously not. But if you pull for him, I completely understand why. He's a very good DPS. Now, of course, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you liked it, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to be notified of when the next Genshin Impact video comes out. And of course, leave a comment. I would love to hear your guys' opinions on this. So, without any further delay, thank you so much. Love you all to death. And as always, we will catch you guys in the next video. Please take care and be safe, y'all.